Ramble.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode. It is so cold in this podcast studio. I don't know. We've been plogging out in the world for all this time. We're used to the sunshine, and it's frigid in here.
That could not be more dramatic. He's wearing as if he's in the Arctic.
Sorry, dramatic or appropriate?
Oh. It is traumatizingly cold in here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to my therapist about this. That's how cold it is.
You can either talk to your therapist or MJ,
Okay.
who runs this
Those are some
and your check-in. Just be like, hey.
Talk about your pants real quick.
What about them?
They're so cozy, but I didn't realize they were cozy pants until right now.
So
I thought you were wearing jeans. I was fooled. I was plumb fooled.
I don't wear jeans, you know that.
Yeah, I know.
These pants are silly. They're exercise sweats, but they're cozy. You're right. And okay, I need to stand up to show this, and let me see how I can describe this. So we have pockets here,
And the pockets have some sort of
like
dramatic look.
Well, okay, so this side has pockets and then seam, and then on this other side,
There we go. There's the shot.
There's
a zipper.
There's
a long zipper.
There's a zipper down the side of the pants,
almost to the knee.
And when you unzip them, did you hear how long that
lets
zip
all
was?
your farts out
Just
privately.
Listen to how long this is. You ready?
Wow, those are.
And what does it reveal?
That's like, I mean, this is bigger than your. This is how big is it?
Yeah.
Is this 4 feet?
What's it reveal? What's
Nothing.
Oh.
You could put like a fork in there, though.
It reveals sort of a vent.
You could put some forks in there.
You can put some chopsticks.
You can put some chopsticks, forks,
it's
sewing needles, spoons.
Sewing needles.
It's not a pocket.
A pickle.
It's a.
That's my pickle pocket.
It's just like a one-sided vent, and it's not on the other side. So it's just like,
Honestly, it does seem like it's for fart ventilation.
I think it is for farts.
Like you can sneak your farts out. I'm so sorry, audience. You come here, you see the title, you're baited in, you're ready to learn more about our year and this last year and the next year, and we're just talking about
farts.
We're talking about fart ventilation, which is important in every household.
Well, we're here to talk about our year ahead and the year behind. This is kind of a reflection pod. It's also, we just had this video come out on our channel called The Try Guys is Changing. Very dramatic fashion, but it's all about where we're going next. We're trying to lay out a roadmap for you guys to know what we're working on. And these are things that we've been, talking about for over a year, thinking about for months and months, and really actively we've been working on since the summer,
and even
soon earlier.
It's been a dream way for us to have content since we started the company. This was the hope of how the company actually would run from its inception, was to be able to do seasons of shows. It's just that we had all those other things we tried to accomplish in the first 2 years, like doing the book, going on tour, and just building the company, that we had to sort of rest on our laurels of content creation and making like viral hits, which was great, and it was really good.
There were a couple unexpected road bumps along the way.
There were some bumps here and there, but
COVID being one of them. That really changed the trajectory of a lot of companies.
But we really always wanted to be a network of shows. That the Try Guys channel was going to be a network of shows, but it really sort of became a hodgepodge of video formats, and some of those formats were shows without a recipe, eat the menu, candid competition, of course, and then we have show formats that are basically Try Guys with a twist, like 4 versus 1, even without a recipe is Try Guys with a twist. It's just kitchen Try Guys with a twist, and we never meet the expert until the end when they say you did it wrong, and we're like, I'm
curious, Rainie, because we've been talking about some of this stuff behind the scenes, but you didn't see that video until it went up.
No, I learned right along with the audience that there's going to be 2 big surprises.
Yeah.
So
what was your reaction to the video?
My reaction to the video was I really want to know what the surprises are. I think I know what one is. The second one, I've got guesses.
I would love to know your guesses.
Okay.
We'll cut out anything that
gets
it too on the nose.
My guess is first, we're moving offices.
You think that's something that the audience would be like super jazzed by? The biggest announcement in Try Guys
We're
history.
getting a new lease. We new lease. We're moving to a slightly larger place. Or it's smaller.
Burbank.
I think Rachel Ziegler comes for one video.
That would be the announcement.
That's huge, and we're gonna make that happen.
Rachel, please.
my girl, you listening?
I know
Love
that you commented that one time. That prompted me to follow you on Instagram.
Yeah. Not only is she rocketing to success, she's bringing Tom Blythe with her.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to have you be in the TikToks. And he doesn't really know what he's doing, but he's so like hot that it's like, okay, I'm going to be following him too.
She said, "I'm a superstar with a +1."
+1, platonic +1.
Okay, so it's the two surprises are that we're moving offices and
Rachel
that Rachel
Ziegler is coming
coming
to do
for
a pod.
a video or a podcast.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? I mean, honestly, I was thinking like, what if we just acquired like the Call Her Daddy network?
You
What
think we can acquire them?
Podcast department doubles, triples, without me knowing also.
We have a new company actually that's called Daddy's Favorite, where we go around and acquire other daddy properties. And
That's really funny.
that could be fun.
Now, we do know that Spotify gave you a much bigger deal. However, we have a lot of passion here at Second Try.
Yeah.
And
we have great
Alex
snacks.
Cooper said, you know what? I'm in.
I mean, she's smart.
She has a lot to teach us.
She has, by the way, that would reach new audiences for sure.
Yeah, well, we're trying to build hype, but we're just trying to build a narrative, and we're trying to. I think the reason that we're doing this, there's something a little, admittedly, silly about having a video that says "big announcement." Stay tuned for
I'm
announcements.
hoping SNL still thinks we're relevant
No,
enough
they're
to
not.
make fun of and I'm making an announcement for an announcement sketch, which would be a funny sketch.
That's a better one.
You know,
That's a better one.
Today I'm making an announcement that in 3 months I'm going to make an announcement, and then 3 months after that, oh boy, there's going to be an announcement.
But the reason we made that video is to tell people where we're going, to acknowledge some of this year, the successes, but also the hiccups. There's hair in my mouth. How'd that happen? What is this even for? It's
It's
white.
probably from the microphone.
Yeah, maybe.
Giving you little kisses.
Yum. But also to like announce this slate. There was so much in there, right? To talk about Eugene and to kind of set expectations for the next year, but then hopefully get people really excited for what is to come, leading up to what is us moving offices and Rachel Ziegler coming on the podcast.
And also, we wanted to remind people about Without a Recipe Live, which went awesome. So amazing.
Dude, it was so fun.
So fun. You can still get tickets to watch the video on demand online, and it's great.
Without a Recipe Live, yeah, I mean, you should watch it because it is so cool. But honestly, I think you should just watch it to watch the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The machinations that go into making it and watching Rachel and the team calling like different cameras at different times. It is there's something really fascinating about seeing how the sausage is made, so to speak. And no spoilies, but let's just say it's a really satisfying ending.
It's a thrilling journey to get to that ending as well.
Heath had a lot of fun playing the heel this year. He fully decided I'm going to be a supervillain.
Yeah.
And he had a blast.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was just sort of cocky and ridiculous. And even in the pre-show, I kept calling Zach and Jaren's kitchen the baby kitchen. This is where the babies are working today. I would just sort of, I think hopefully people knew I was being over the top. And I did see some comments being like, I voted down on Keith because he was being so like extraordinarily mean. I didn't even understand where it was coming from. And then they said they were happy they watched the after show where we talked about how I said, yes, I was being a ridiculous villain for no reason other than
Everyone
to do it.
should get a chance to be a villain for a day.
So fun.
You got to be dastardly.
Yeah.
So where do we want to launch, Rainie? I know you
Yes.
rewatched the video and you came up with a little table of contents.
Yes, exactly. So starting literally like 11 months ago, where you do the what happens next. Because at the very top of the video, you guys are like, we promised a lot, and then a lot of stuff happened. Like there's a huge life events, your leg, your baby.
So yeah, absolutely. If you look at the two side by side, we basically spent the last year failing at what was our initial vision and then figuring out why does this vision not work with our current business structure and how do we get there?
Yeah.
And that vision is this idea of making the shows that we really love, just those, and trying to step away from the treadmill of YouTube, so to speak.
Right.
The treadmill meaning like that you're constantly chasing views, chasing bigger views, that you are doing things not from a place of passion and a place of audience satisfaction.
So here's why we say treadmill. It's just a metaphor for like when you set a treadmill, you set it at a speed.
Right.
And you set it at a comfortable speed to go for an hour, right? Because you want to be able to pace yourself well. So we have chosen that our pace on our treadmill of YouTube is 8 videos a month.
Right.
Which if you look at a lot of other people, some people do way more than that, right? Some people do a daily video. Some people do a monthly video. Some people do 2 videos a month. There's a whole range, but whatever you do, you tell YouTube, this is what this channel does.
Oh.
So YouTube judges your channel against itself when the algorithm is thinking about what it wants to do. So there's all external stuff, but it also is literally just judging you against your past. So our past says, we have this many videos uploaded. They do this well. This is how often it does.
This is how many views this channel should be getting every month. This is what
and if you fail at those metrics or you under-deliver, it says, oh, this channel's not doing as well. It doesn't understand anything past numbers. So it says, okay, these numbers are lower, whether that's output, whether that's length of video, whatever it is. It doesn't really take into consideration the nuance. It's like, those numbers are different, not doing as well. I will show to less people because I'm going to promote other people whose channels are doing better than their other channels, because my goal as YouTube is to have the most people here stay here.
Right.
And case in point, we've told this before, but this lack of nuance in an algorithm is that October of last year, for no reason whatsoever, we shot up in a lot of subscribers. Over the first couple months of this year, we lost those subscribers. And so we had this big negative metric that affected our views, that affected our surfacing. And that affects the revenue that comes into the company. Other things that affected us this year, we'll talk about the personal life stuff in a second, but just, we mentioned broad industry-wide changes. So we really had struggled with merch for a while. Then the company that we were working with went bankrupt. So there's
and that affected a lot of creators.
It affected a lot of people. The thing is, though, that we, first of all, had stopped putting stuff out with them even before that happened because we felt like the quality wasn't good and something didn't feel right. So we're like, I don't really want to keep asking the audience for money for these things that I don't really like. And then that happened, and then we're like, okay, we're selling no merch for the rest of the year, which is a huge hit to the business and a decision we had to make, unfortunately. Because Q4 is when people buy stuff.
I also would say Soup Slut was not the smash hit that I thought it would be. We all are surprised. We thought that was going to change the world.
But what's good is that we also do have
Our marketing was bad on that, too.
Marketing was bad. But we have a new vendor of people we're going with that we like a lot more just as people. And we think they make cool stuff. And we're more confident in their ability to be a long-term partner that will always do good stuff. There's a lot of, the internet is very like, things happen and things go away. Things happen and things go away, like creators stuff. And a lot of those merch companies are similar. They can be really, really successful, but they can scale too fast. And then suddenly something hurts their revenue and they go bankrupt. That's a thing that happens. Still, lots of businesses across all of the industry.
So going back, you guys said we want to be making the videos we want to be making, and then the things that happened were the hiccup in the algorithm that made less people watch. So that was a lower income, and then also the merch company went under. So those are the two.
Those are two things.
The third one, and I want to say more about the algorithm in a second, because I don't think it's entirely the algorithm's fault. We also had periods where we were crushing it, and we had periods where maybe our content wasn't delivering on what people expected. I don't want to totally pass the blame on others, but I was gone for a long time. Keith was gone for a long time. Eugene was certainly gone for a long time. That shatters a sense of trust with the audience, and that is going to be part of the issue as well. But the other big thing that did happen before we talk about personal stuff was just the ad world changed.
Right.
We have an ad-supported business. That's how we exist. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're paying, ads pay for your experience. the industry has gotten tighter. It's shrunk. There's not as many dollars going in. And one of the biggest things that happened is Google laid off their internal branded team. That accounted for about 50% of our branded revenue year over year, which was the biggest bucket of our revenue. And so that team overnight, poof,
They were gone.
And that's the team that puts ads in the videos, or what?
No,
team?
that
This
is the
is
team
like
that
a
sells
sales team.
They sell custom integrations. So, we do our normal videos, and then there's pre-roll on that you guys see. But we also do our custom videos where Kingsbury Crunch will say, we want a video about like surprises, because, Kingsbury Crunch, you're always kind of finding them in places you don't expect, like in your drawer, sock drawer, in your pocket.
Or in your hat. Or,
Sometimes like you sit down in your car and you're like, what is this? Is it my seatbelt? No, it's Kingsbury
Sometimes
Crunch.
you're talking and you realize there's a piece of Kingsbury Crunch in your mouth.
Yeah, it's kind of
You're already
crazy.
eating it.
Oh my
Do you ever,
gosh.
by the way, have you ever, I know you're a big runner, Rainie, and
Yeah.
sometimes you're like on your third mile
Yeah.
and you're like, what the hell is that in my shoe? Is it a Pebble? No, it's a Kingsbury Crunch.
Yes, and it's so weird too because I'm always like craving it. Sometimes I really want a sugar thing while I run, and then it's like,
It's there.
okay, the Kingsbury God said, "Here you go."
Yeah. By the way, just real quick, if you fix your headphones, I think there is a Kingsbury Crunch right behind your ear. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. My family, we're not the biggest gift givers. I'm terrible at gifts, and
It's hard. It's hard to give a gift. What do they want?
Do you and Becky give each other gifts?
We are this year.
Okay.
Because we want to show Henry that people give each other gifts.
That's
so
important.
he sees that.
Well, whether or not your family gives gifts during the holidays, you get to define how you give to yourself. And the holidays, they're a great time to do that. So whether it's by starting therapy, maybe just going easier on yourself during the tough moments, or treating yourself to a day of complete rest, remember, give yourself some love this holiday season.
And one way to help yourself this holiday season is with BetterHelp. It is online therapy, entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Here's how you do it. You just fill out a brief questionnaire, and they're going to match you with a therapist. But if you don't vibe with this therapist, you can change your therapist at any time, no extra cost. It's simple.
I have my session right after this, and it does empower me to be the best version of myself.
Yeah.
In the season of giving, give yourself what you need with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/tripod today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/tripod.
So we'll have those
Where were we?
brands come to us and ask
Yeah.
for a custom video.
Right.
Those are much larger sales, and that is something that our business kind of relied on for a long
Right.
time.
And so you can still get them, but not from Google anymore.
Correct.
And so it's way harder to get them.
Well,
'cause
it just
it's-
that was about
where it was.
50% of that total
that-
bucket
of that. Oh,
went
okay.
away, and
Not-
we haven't been
yeah.
able to replace that yet.
And what was good about the way that one worked is that they, YouTube was just a service. They just said, like, we're going to help do this with creators to help them, but also to strengthen advertisers, trust in paying for YouTube video stuff.
Yeah.
Because I thought, like, well, if they go straight through Google, they know they're working with Google, and Google's obviously a
Right.
behemoth brand. But
Right.
they decided that wasn't something that was as good for them as they hoped it was. So they axed that program.
Right.
That affected us and a lot of other people as well. And it's not like you can replace something like that quickly or easily. And also, anytime anything happens, whether it be a big or small change, even like a person getting another job offer and going to another company, that's a great thing for them. But then you have to spend time finding a new person to do that job. Like that is... everything takes time.
Right.
And it's always like, oh, dang, you're always taking like a little quarter step back. Like every month, if something is going to put you a quarter to a half or a full step back, and it's just like
trying to walk through a wind tunnel, and there's a
Right.
bunch of debris flying at you.
It's just not
And you're
efficient.
gonna get to the end of that tunnel, but God, you keep getting hit with this shit that knocks
man,
it
how does
back.
this stuff keeps happening? Dang.
So that is the business world stuff.
And before we go to the personal stuff, so what kinds of videos, because you talked about like doing stuff you wanted to do, was there a video that you did that fell into that category, or did you not even get there because...
We didn't super get there. I mean, we I would say that basically from the onset, our content slate went to shit. Any plans that we had got shattered. And that is because I shattered glass and nearly died.
Yeah.
It's like that's the reality is that, we didn't even really get a chance to come up with our year plan.
Right.
Realistically, I mean, we made that video and maybe it wouldn't have even happened because I was in wedding planning mode.
Yeah.
But any hope of it happening, done, kaput.
Yeah.
So,
Wait, when you say it, is making the videos you want to make?
Yeah. It meaning a content slate.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming up with what are the videos we want to make for the next 3 months or 6 months, because you have to shoot things ahead of time and you're trying to think like what will be good in this month in terms of what's going on in the world, but also will excite us and also gives us the team enough time to pre-produce, produce, post, edit, and release.
Right.
So
It felt like we've been in catch-up mode all year because,
we want to be in mustard zone.
oh,
That's
God.
right. That was a good one, actually. I like that. Usually I don't like ketchup jokes, but I liked that one.
I'm sorry. I just had to. It did so much business talk. Everybody needs a mustard joke now and then.
I mean, it was sort of, you know what? Like, it was adrenaline response the end of, this time last year, right?
Right.
We were just like,
was
all right,
shocking,
hold
yeah.
on tight. We got it.
Yeah.
We're doing okay. Okay, let's tell the audience, here's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be so sick. You're in, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Sound of breaking glass.
That's what happened. So then it was like, all right, well, Zach's gone. Good luck, everybody. He's fucked.
And then
yeah.
we had the wedding, and I'm like, okay, well, Keith's gone because he had planned to do this thing, but he had made these plans back when none of these issues were a part of the company.
Right.
But
So all of the
We were-
videos,
yeah.
like, and then, I won't fully speak for Eugene. Like, he'll come on at some point and tell you what he's been up to, but his plans got a little shaken too. So he was stepping in a little bit to fill the gaps. But like, as far as our creative, it was just the team here. Like,
Right.
what the fuck can we shoot?
Right.
Because it goes back to what we said earlier. Like, we have this expected output. And now all of a sudden it's like, hey, our surfacing's way down. What the hell is happening? Okay, that means any plans where we wanted to scale back how many videos we were making, we thought about going to one a week,
Yeah.
which would allow us to put more thought, time, and care into each upload. Can't do that.
couldn't afford
Right.
that.
Can't afford that because now we need double the videos just to get the same threshold of views that one video would have gotten us. And we're still in this hole because of all this other bullshit that's happening at the same
Right.
time. So they're scrambling when I'm gone, then I'm scrambling when he's gone. We're not thinking forward at all. We are just trying to get by. Videos are coming down to the wire. We're jumping in to help with edits whenever we can. We finally are like, all right, let's celebrate. Let's do something cool. Romeo and Juliet. We announce it. The next day, Keith's wife goes into labor 6.5 weeks early.
It is like, I was like, okay, well, literally the day that Becky first went into labor, that morning, I was memorizing lines for Juliet. Because I was sitting and reading. I'm like, okay, I'm going to read this whole script. I'm going to start going through and start working on my lines. And then that night, I was like, I don't think I need to learn these lines right now. I think I'm not going to, I don't see a world where this is going to move quickly.
Yeah.
There was I know we've talked about this in other episodes, but they were so caught off guard that their birthing class was planned for that coming week. They were on their baby moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were on our last trip before we had to start like gearing up and finishing the nursery and doing all the things you do in the last 2 months. So like, okay, we're about to do all this work for the next 2 months as we anticipate the baby coming, and then the baby showed up. So then also like even just in our personal lives, we were playing catch up of like, we don't have a
crib.
Crib's not done. Like and I was making trips back, and I was
Had
like
to cancel the baby rave.
Yeah, and had to cancel our own.
Devastating.
Yeah, I know.
Baby rave was going to be, instead of a baby shower, it was going to be a baby rave.
Just a party to celebrate rather than making it hoity-toity gift giving. We're like, no, we're going to have a taco truck and a DJ, and we're going to just party.
Laser lights.
Yeah.
I had a real snooty outfit planned. It was
know.
like all fishnet.
Wow.
So, that was an issue of like, okay, this is a new life circumstance that just is going to take me out for about 2 months.
Well, we didn't know how long, right?
Right.
Because Zach Jr. was in the NICU, and we were like, okay, is it going to be a week? or 2 weeks.
Our doctor was like, oh yeah, he could be released in 1 week, or he could be released at full term, which would be 7 weeks. I was like, and how will we know? I was like, oh, well, it's one day at a time.
So that's
hard to plan for. One day at a time is tough for us.
They didn't give birth in their hospital. They were not in Los Angeles. They were away.
Right.
And so Keith would drive back to like do a little video here and there. If it was clear of like, oh, he's going to be here at least X more days.
And sometimes I was like, we don't have clothes. Because we were on a weekend trip where our plan was to like hang out and sit around and just relax. It was an unwinding sort of trip.
A romantic trip of Keith, Becky, and Jared Popkin.
Yeah. And so I was like, I guess I'll go get clothes, and like even just like, you know, it's an Airbnb. It's like, I'm going to go get like real knives and like real pots and pans and bring them back. And then like other things like just getting stuff that would, because I was like, I think we're going to be here for a month and a half, so I better go get things to make it feel like this is home rather than an Airbnb. Yeah. So every time I came back, I'd be like, well, I'll come back and let me see if I can do something else while I'm back.
You guys want to eat a bunch of dumplings?
Yeah. I'm basically was like, you guys, I can eat. I can always eat. Doesn't take a lot of pre-production to do. We can get on the road and go eat, and then I'll leave.
And I'm trying to remember, but like, so we had a bunch of videos and content that like, okay, we can't release those anymore. Like part of them, like some of the Romeo and Juliet videos, but that was only 3 episodes. So I'm trying to remember what else. But like we just, again, now we're forced into scramble. Like, okay, we need 3 videos that we can release really fast. So that means they can't require intense pre-production. They can't have huge edit times.
They need to be a 2-hour long of video to edit down to whatever needs to be.
So what do we do? And that again, it puts us on our heels where we're not proactively making what we want. We are responding to the fires.
Yeah.
It's okay. We have a gap in 2.5 weeks. What can we make today that comes out then?
Right.
What can we film tomorrow? Keith's able to come in on Thursday. What can we do on Thursday? So a lot of that type of production.
Right.
But then you were gone for this like undisclosed, we didn't know how long NICU time, but then Henry comes home. Keith has to do paternity leave.
Yeah. Right.
Like, and he, was kind of doing a little bit, but we really tried to take him out of as much as we could because you only get to do this part once.
I was basically, even then, I probably only did 2 weeks at home. And then I was like, okay, I'll come back and be like half back. But after like 1 week of that, I was like, no,
it's just too intense.
I'll just be like here like 4 out of 5 days rather than the hoped 2 out of 5 days, because
you were back.
I was like, there's no way to do this. I'll try to do is any meetings I can do from home, I'll do from home. But so much we needed to do was in person and shoots. So it was like but luckily, I mean, there were good things that came of this. We identified that this was like just a production nightmare for us, and we needed to schedule our weeks to be better and more conducive to what we were doing in our output. So our team and Erica really spearheaded this with Devin, just like figuring out like, we're going to change how this week works. Right. What does the week look like here? It needs to be more consistent. It's so random. It's too random. So we're going to make it that Mondays and Tuesdays these days are podcasts, these days are meetings, these days are shoots, these days are like for the production to wrap and figure out what's going on next week. And it took a little bit to implement, obviously, but I think it's so much better. And it's helped everyone, I feel less frazzled and frenetic, because we know that this day this happens. And obviously things don't always happen perfectly every week, but for the most part we have this form of what the week should look like.
Right.
And that's more comfortable to work within.
Yeah.
So I think it was during the summer and maybe the NICU time that we really were like, okay, this doesn't work. It's like, there were so many cracks that were happening all at once, and we saw how fragile what we had built was in so many ways. A lot of what Keith and I have been focusing on is how do we stabilize this for the people here who depend on us. We have a huge sense of responsibility, but also how do we make something that we want to sustain, that's worth it. Like, we can't just be in this adrenaline-based catch-up mode all the time because we're on a treadmill, but now we've tripped, but we have to keep the speed up, and it's just a really bad, hectic feeling. So in the summer, we were able to look at this and figure out where all the cracks were and start to figure out what would be better. How do we make this in our own image, and what would really excite us for the next couple years? And that is what we've been working on and laying the foundation on for the last 6 months, which leads us to where we are now.
Yeah.
And you can see, if you actually look kind of back at the last 3 months, that we started implementing this idea of this sort of like event season-based thing. You start with like the Eat the Menu Cheesecake Factory. This is a big event. It's going to be 3 weekends in this month. We'll do this, and then the next month is when Without a Recipe starts. So you have these like, okay, there's some tent poles happening that we can say, this is going to happen, audience. It's going to happen, and you're going to watch it, and it's going to happen this time, and we can follow through with that. So we were testing out that idea, and then as that was working, we're like, this is great. It also is healthier for the channel because the audience knows what they're getting, and they're excited about it. So we said, okay, let's try to do this for the next 6 months, so the first 6 months of the next year, which we've never mapped out that far in advance. Not the whole time.
Not successfully.
We've mapped out like, okay, we know that Without a Recipe will be at this time, but we haven't mapped out between now and then. We've just figured out some of the tentpole series and where they go, but not, we have every video planned and it won't stay perfect, but we've never even had a 6-month every video plan.
Between now
ever.
and August, we know everything that we are making. And that was necessary because this mystery event requires a lot of coordination and planning.
And so the slate that you weren't able to do at the end of last year, you now have for this year. Like that is the slate, which you talked about being like pilot month, like candid competition.
Yeah,
and those
I mean,
are the tentpole.
Yeah, and it's less specific in terms of like, oh, it's this show I've been dying to make, and it's more the way of making them. And
that's interesting.
It's
okay.
the process, and it's the ability to put full thought and care into everything we do. Now, of course, there are within those some shows that we've been dying to take a crack at for a little while, but I want to be proud of everything we make, and I am to an extent, but they all have little asterisks sometimes, and it's because, oh, we have to do this, oh, we have to do that.
Yeah.
I want to be a lot more proactive.
Yeah.
Now, that said, I do want to set clear expectations, right? Like, we're going to have our tent poles, but we're also going to be in between those, still looking at ways to play the algorithm game, at least for the next couple months. So when you see those videos, you'll know why.
Yeah, but also, yeah, I mean,
And they're still fun.
We're not putting, like, when we say, like, there's not 8 episodes of Candid Competition, unfortunately. There's, 8 releases a month.
There's 3 candid competition. We thought about 4, but one of them was too crazy. We'll do it save it for the final season.
Well, we'll get them there. But so there will be other videos still in those months outside of those exciting, like, the things that we said we're dropping each month. There's still going to be other videos. There's still going to be. We're still always testing formats, even when outside of pilot month. We're always still thinking analytically about like parts of videos, and we're doing light format testing and piloting all the time. Like a great example is the "Can Keith guess which fried chicken in his mouth?" video.
Oh yeah,
super standalone, not like any other video. I was using that to test other things, and I was and that obviously as its own format, but I learned some things from it. I'm like, okay, cool, I understand for this, and I know what to do. And I've got other ideas for other formats. And the breakfast, lunch, and dinner steak video, I was able to test and see like, what does something like this look like on our channel? Is this better than an Eat the Menu that's fancy? I don't know, but so I needed to make it, put it out, see how people thought about it. I've taken some learnings, and I'm crafting what to do next in that space.
yeah.
I would love to take a moment because I just as a person, I'm a very self-critical person. So I'm always looking at what am I doing? How can I do better?
Yeah.
How do I perfect this blob of a human? But I also think it's important to acknowledge that given everything that went on, we did a ton of incredible stuff this year. And it's very hard for me to say that about myself, but I can say it about the team. And we made unbelievable content. I mean, first of all, their fortitude in the face of fire, unreal.
Yeah.
But starting with Romeo and Juliet, something that I don't know who else could make something like that.
Yeah. It's so cool. It was so big, and it was Shakespeare online. Like that's cool. That's so weird. It's like one of the oldest form of theater in the newest way of doing content.
Entertainment. Yeah.
It's like, how cool is that? And actually have the audience be able to vote on things and change things. And then we took fun things from that and put it in War Live as well. So we're always testing something and figuring out where else something can go. But that was so big. I remember looking around, I'm like, how does this office fit all this stuff? How is this a stage right now? This is an office. And crazy crew and having the other Shakespearean actors actually around us made it so much larger than life, and the costumes and the wigs and the spectacle of it all.
We had a season of Phoning It In that was so funny and so good, introduced a lot of new faces that people have come to love. That also was, they were called in with like days notice because that was one of my hospital returns. I was supposed to be in that whole season, and then like, nope, Zach's gone again. So Keith, you're in every episode. Marissa, you free? Shane? We just called everyone and in every favor we could. I'm just looking through my favorites. We expanded the Try Guys cast. Something that we honestly thought was not possible. We thought that people would kind of reject anyone beyond like the core three of us. But it's been so exciting and endearing to see Johnny Cakes have his own show, to see Kwesi and Jared and Marissa in Without a Recipe killing it, and to the point that when Jared and Kwesi were not in episodes, people were like, "Oh man, I miss them." Like,
I miss Jared though. Actually, like that's like a super huge win because it's hard for us to navigate how our own time as talent. So to be able to have other people that people love watching on our channel is great because it helps us know that we can use them more in talent and give us a break, but also just add them to us. So there's
add their perspectives,
not
add their
just
comedy.
Keith and Zach.
Yeah, we freed Miles from the shackles of his podcast cage. We got him dancing with me. We had other friends. I mean, Joyce was in videos and was so funny. I smoked weed and it got demonetized. We
started doing a lot more live things this year too, which the audience has really liked, and some have been sponsored, which is obviously great, but some have just been like really fun, like Eat the Menu Lives, basically the Eat with Keats, and then doing this last Jackbox Games one was so much fun. And we're looking at doing that kind of stuff in January, both as a way to like help us have lots of content in January, which comes right after the holidays, right? So a lot of people are rightfully taking time off, but that means that it's harder to put out content, so these lives are a great strategy, but also we hope they provide a really fun sense of community between us and the audience for that first month, especially in the middle of winter. Everyone's sad. And I was like, this is a great way to like have some really fun, joyous moments on
feel like you're with friends when you're snowed
days.
in your house.
Yeah, it's like, it's nice. And we also are using those to test formats that also could be full produced videos and not just live stream formats. There's like a weird kind of Eat the Menu one that I'm very excited.
You've been really pushing this for a while.
For months and months, I've been trying to figure it out. And
I tried to stop it from happening, and I could. No, I'm kidding.
It's going to be really fun. And
when Keith gets his mind set on an idea,
it's tough to stop me.
Hell and high water. I mean, you can't do anything to stop him.
Yeah, I probably also throw the most things to the production team. Like, hey, can we do this tomorrow? I had an idea. I'd like to do it right now because by 2 days from now, I'll have a new idea and I won't care about this one. But I think this one's good and I don't want that to happen. So can we produce this tomorrow? And they're like, can we produce it next week? I'm like,
Tomorrow's better.
Tomorrow I'd like to. Is tomorrow totally out of the question? It just feels like we can do it.
I mean, one thing that you guys talked about was spending the year reflecting on like why you do what you do. What did you guys figure out?
Well, I can tell you from a place of Keith as a teenager and the dreams that I have of what I want to do as a performer.
Yeah.
And as a performer, I don't feel like we have created more shows other than the Try Guys that people love.
Oh.
And I want the things that I am in to have their own unique style that are different from other things I've already made, and make a broader variety of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known for just one thing. I want to be someone who's like Seth Rogen, who's like known for lots of amazing things. And he's also known for being Seth Rogen, which is great. But he's known for directing and writing amazing things. He's known for starring in amazing things. He's known for producing amazing things. He's known for...
he's multifaceted. He's so hot, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah, he daddied up.
He is very daddy now.
Yeah, he glowed.
No, but Keith, I think that's really interesting to like want to expand. And it makes life interesting.
Yeah.
It's just sort of more engaging, more exciting.
The little spices of life.
Yeah.
Spices of life.
I think for me, the why is about process and reception. With reception, we care most about impact. When we make videos that matter deeply to people, and I don't just mean the ones that are, have social issues or have a cause. I mean ones that touch into your soul. And that can mean a lot of things. That can mean laughter without a recipe touches into your soul. I want to make things that matter to the people that matter to us, which is our audience. But the game that we've been in has forced us to care about a different impact, which is views and watch time and click-through rate and all this bullshit. And so we've been trying to figure out, how do we get back to that why? The why we do this is because of the audience that we have. YouTube forces us to reach constantly beyond that audience to people that, frankly, I don't care about. I don't care if, I want to entertain the people who are moved by what we do. I think for a long time, I thought that satisfaction would only come from traditional media or something over there, and a sense of quote unquote legitimacy. That I would only be happy if I directed a big movie that won awards. But increasingly, I'm seeing that does not matter, because what matters is my ability to reach people with entertainment that I believe in. And again, believe in meaning that I can look at it and go, this is fucking great. I put my whole triussy into this, and it is excellent through and through.
That word.
Well, it's the year of the triussy.
Okay.
And then when I say process, it is about feeling a creative satisfaction in the work, that I am not operating from a place of panic, that I'm operating from a place of joy and passion, that I look at something and an end product and I go, this is fucking great. I love this. I had a great time making it. And then surrounding ourselves with people we like making stuff with. We've built a great team here. I love collaborating with everyone here. The new on-camera talent, we love having. The freelancers we have, we love working with. We're trying to build something that is fucking fun. So, look, at the end of the day, this is a job. It will always be a job, but we have an opportunity, and a luxurious one at that, to make this into something that is a joy, where we get to come in every day with people who we like to collaborate with, who we like to joke around with, who are comfortable joking around with us. Having that comfort and creating that collaborative environment, that is the why. That's what I care about. So I care about the people on the other side of this screen. I care about making shit that matters to them, and I care about the people who make the stuff on that screen, that our process is enjoyable and collaborative and fun and comforting. That is the why.
Nice.
The one thing, there's much more to say.
You guys said you're not trying things, you're leaving that format of like try guys try.
Okay, yeah. So what we're trying to do is give the Try Guys back what it was, which was the Try Guys learn something really cool and explore a culture or occupation or something that is really unique, and have it be Keith, Zach, and Eugene, and maybe other people too, but give it the bigness that it really used to have. That when we we're on a raft at sea, and when we were doing crazy big, cool things. And also when we were doing not so crazy, but still hard things, like when we did our first, parenthood or first motherhood series like this. I don't know. It was an event, but it was really educational. It featured really cool people. We actually had to try really hard, challenging stuff that affected us.
It used to be a show, right? And over time, it was forced to become
a brand.
A brand
of videos, which is not bad, but not what it was.
And if you look at like even some videos that we made this year, which are good, but we did like I forget what it was actually called. We did dancing. It was me, Miles, and Joyce at Millennium Studio. That whole video is what would have been a first act to an episode. Because that whole video is we go into a dance class with professionals, we learn a dance, and at the end we do it. Sure, it's good. It's a good video. It's really well edited. It's got great jokes. Joyce is hilarious in it. Miles with dance moves that I've never seen before. The expert's great. The class is great. It's fun, but there's no build. It happened. If we had made that video years ago, it would be we go to this class, we learn, now we have to go home and
practice for a week
because
we're
in the end,
performing at the halftime of the Rams game for some reason.
And so that's the kind of thing where like just based on this production cycle and this schedule, it just wasn't even feasible. I mean, one, as you all now know, that was a video during the "Oh fuck, Keith is gone. What are we? Okay, Zach, can you dance tomorrow?"
Yeah.
It was during that time, right? And really just trying to come up with like, okay, what's a good title thumbnail? Great, let's go. I think we shot that video in like 2 or 3 hours. Like that was just because we just didn't have time. And then you guys literally picked me up from that shoot and we plogged. Like we just were like, go, 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 go. So that's really part of it. That's part of why we're putting that format on hiatus.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me if we do some try-based videos in the next couple months, but like they won't be the show. And then the other reason is wanting to prioritize where we're putting Eugene in. We thought that it was the best to like, okay, you're free for this day. Come on in. We're going to block shoot 4 videos and we'll release them over a month. That way people don't feel like they're missing you. We were really sensitive to like, look, we were 4 people. We didn't want to all of a sudden be 2 people. We didn't want to take away Eugene, even though this had been planned.
Oh, he was going to take a step back, even like to the extent of this year.
Yeah, this was planned a long time ago. And actually when nothing at all happened, Eugene was like, okay, I gotta do more. And he actually like kind of really fucked himself in doing that. But he jumped back in and was like,
what do we do?
You need us. What do we do?
We got to work together. We have a lot. There was a lot of just different work we hadn't done before that had to do. And he was also like, I need to get in some videos to be part of this, even though like my plan was to maybe make an announcement that I would be in less videos other than like Without a Recipe and the Try Guys proper. Maybe we'll refer to it as from now on. And that wasn't possible because we couldn't produce the Try Guys proper. It's like, well, hey, why don't you come in? If you can give us a few days, let's do this and then this and this. But it made it be that Eugene was in videos that weren't as cool, which is not the light you want to see Eugene in. The titles of these videos also weren't as like exciting to watch. So those videos underperformed and left audiences being like, well, I want to see Eugene, but I don't want to see Eugene do that. And
I don't want to see him debate a puppet.
And we're like,
I love those videos.
I get that.
Those tickle me.
Those are a blast. I wish we could make more of them because they're so fun. I also love puppeteering, so it was great for me. But
you weren't on set that day, though. You never got to meet.
I know. I love
the
puppeteering.
Yeah.
I was actually studying with the puppeteer to be able to come back and do that show, but I couldn't do it. But it just wasn't what people wanted. Wasn't how we wanted to utilize Eugene either. So we're like, okay, this year we will not do that. We are going to find a time to really months in advance know that when we're producing something with you, make it dope, go somewhere else and shoot something cool that requires us all being all in for that week of shooting. And we have lots of lead time to make sure that that week of shooting is going to produce dope videos, not just hey, you're
Like
free
rush
tomorrow.
jobs, yeah.
Tomorrow, come in. We'll shoot something in house
Right.
that we can pump out really quick.
Right.
It's, overall, we're trying to move towards a place of quality over quantity and just, again, putting our whole Try Us season to everything that we make.
Yeah, and I also I'm trying to figure out like what are formats that we can produce in like quickly, but that are still really fun and engaging for people to feel like, because there's hangout content too that people like.
I love hangout content.
Eat the Menu is hangout content. I can't actually eat that much forever. And like it's just not healthy. But I want to make content that's like that provides that niche for people. So what can I do in that way?
Right.
So I'm doing some tests literally next week. I'm shooting some test formats to figure out what can be that while still doing Eat the Menu sometimes. But what else can I make that has that vibe of hanging out with Keith for an hour while he comments on or reviews something else.
Right.
That was the genesis behind Smoke Show. It was like,
Right.
oh, it's companionship, right?
It's
like, can we hang out with people through the screen?
Mm-hmm.
What else? Okay, I like to eat with people. I like smoking with people.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a couple more of those.
And there's not a lot of content like that out there for people. I think there's an audience there that likes that kind of thing.
The real story is that I took a weird edible in New York and it floored me. And I'm like, what the fuck was that thing? If only there was a video I could have... I could be the video.
And we saw like your goofy video at Universal Studios, like there was an audience for that. It's like, okay, there's something here that we can explore, but it's hard to explore it. So we're figuring out how to do that. So we'll figure it out.
If any sponsors out there want to be the exclusive Smoke Show sponsor, you let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can promise you 300K views.
Maybe more, but it'll have to not get age gated to find out.
So the surprise, there's going to be 2 surprises. Are they related or no comment?
They're related.
They're related. It's a 2-part wham bam surprise, I feel like I said in that video.
They're related.
They're related.
All roads
lead to the big
here.
surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. And it will be surprising, and I think something that people are excited to find out about. When they hear it, they'll be like, oh, that is cool, rather than them being like, that wasn't that cool. I think they'll be like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
And if it all falls apart, we'll pretend this never happened.
We'll come up with some backup surprises that you might go, oh, I guess that's kind of cool. And we'll put into those places because there's actually there are other cool surprises unrelated to the mystery event coming this year. So actually, I guess there's more than 2 surprises.
There's lots of surprises.
There's lots of surprises. There's lots of cool things. And, and some of them are like, I think we could talk about how, like, I would love for us to figure out, can the podcast do some on-location shows? Maybe not fully go on tour, but, like, can we go do a couple podcasts on the road?
Okay. In our Slack the other day, we, like, joked about what a live tripod episode would be, and I'm so fucking down where it's just a live podcast where we just walk through the crowd and sort of comment on them.
Yeah. It's basically like a roast if the comedian left the stage. But I don't think it's roasting. I think it's hanging.
No, it's just hanging. And then Devin was like, what if you got the entire theater to all leave and go to a coffee shop?
I was thinking that, and I was like, this is a tour of a flash mob, right? Like, it's a mob.
Who says that a ticketed event has to be in a theater? It could just be a park meetup.
Yeah, but it's hard to charge for that.
Well,
we're going to have to charge people.
Yeah, we are going to have to.
So we'll start in a theater, and then after you get there, we'll all go somewhere nearby. That's cool.
Bring comfortable sneakers.
So there's going to be people who are like, I'm not buying a ticket. I'm just going to stand outside the doors and wait till they leave and join them.
It's a pilgrimage from the theater to the coffee shop.
Okay, we should. Okay, I wasn't sold 2 weeks ago, but now I am. I think that we should get on this.
There's something there. I think there is some, like, we could do some.
We'll do some one-off dates.
You do some, like, go to San Francisco. Go somewhere around here to figure it out.
San Francisco. I think we should go to Denver. Because I can stay at my parents'
I know why you want it.
Can we all stay at your parents' house?
Yeah, I think that'll be funny.
That's a
That's a plug.
That's a plug. That's a
Podcast
blog.
at Rainie's parents' house.
Well, okay, plug on the plane, plug in an Uber in Denver, plug at Rainie's parents' house, and then plug at the
Smoke show. We do a smoke show.
Ooh,
You know.
I like that.
Yeah,
I
at
don't
their
know.
parents' house.
I don't know that I've ever. Do your parents? Will they smoke weed with me?
Will they let us smoke in their living room?
I think they will. I remember before prom, this
4
guy.
foot bongs at Rainie's parents' house.
I think just for you guys, they'd do
That's
it.
huge.
Yeah.
Shout out to the tolls.
Yeah.
I've pitched this many times, and I don't know if it will ever happen because it's very stupid. But it's Eat the Menu Airplane, where it's like Keith eats everything on American Airlines.
Yeah.
Keith, you gotta do that.
But it's filmed on an airplane.
Oh, that's harder.
On the flight.
During the flight, and Keith buys a middle seat. And we have like me and Rachel sitting next to him, but we pretend to be other people who are just pissed off that
so
it's
They're just
funny.
out of frame, and you
Yeah.
just can't see them. The problem is the sound's going to be horrible.
gonna be so bad. You have
It's
to
gonna
dub
be
the whole
a
thing.
hum the whole time.
Planes are loud.
Planes are really loud. You don't realize it
Yeah.
because you're in it.
You could maybe do a voiceover or like, you know those silent book reviews? It's like that, but silent airplane
You
reviews,
think
and then
that's
you do a
going to keep people's
voiceover.
attention?
I don't know.
Yes, I guess I could do the whole thing silent, and then after the fact, be like, "So here I am. I'm trying it right
Yeah,
now.
and I thought that was
yum. It
really
looks like I'm
disgusting.
enjoying it."
And you want the jokes. I think you just have to do it, dub some of it. Okay, you know what we do? Next time we're on a plane, I'll be on a plane soon. I'm gonna be on a plane. Don't worry.
Okay.
And I'll take a little test recording. We send it over to Will and MJ and be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
make it sound better."
Yeah. So I think what you do is bring
Oh, bring a microphone.
a
Yeah.
microphone and like try and see what it's like. See if is this repairable to be entertained, reparable.
No, you were right.
But we are going to be like everyone around is going to hate us. There's just a guy who's talking all 3 hours of this fight, and he keeps ordering more of this in-air snack boxes, and he doesn't seem to like any of them. This dick behind me keeps talking. He keeps saying the crackers.
Okay, a couple additional thoughts. One, I think you should do it in first class
Oh yeah.
because I think you should disturb the
wealthy.
wealthy.
Yeah.
Disturb the
But
wealthy.
also the food is where the food will be better. So I was like, can you give me some of what the people back there are eating as well? Can I try some of the snack boxes? The protein box. Oh, my goodness.
I wonder if there's a way because it almost feels like you need your own flight attendant, right?
Yeah.
Like, because otherwise you're not gonna get enough stuff. So I almost feel like we need to reach out to the airlines and be like, "Hey, we're coming.
I will.
Keep the coming."
Hey, I'm going to need to be on this flight. And yeah, we need to do like the JetBlue LA to JFK flight.
You think we need 5 hours?
Well, I think we need to. That's only way we're going to get on the good first class because the domestic first class flights are only the cross country ones.
You're talking okay.
I'm talking about the.
You're talking about the good.
Yeah, I'm talking about the good ones.
You're not talking about business class. You're talking about first
class. Well, that's also going to be more interesting for people to click on and look at because I can still eat everything in the rest of the plane too, but they won't feed me the first
What
class
if-
food back in the back
Oh,
where I normally fly.
you buy 2 seats on the plane.
And we go and get people and guests and bring them up.
Yes.
This idea is exploding
Okay.
right now. This is a live brainstorm.
And actually, that's even better than my idea. You buy 3 seats on the
Oh,
plane.
okay.
So you have the first class seat, the guest seat next to you, but you also have a seat in the back of the plane. So you start the video in first class, then you go to the back, order all the snack boxes, then come back to first class
with friends. Yeah, I think I need to like get people throughout the flight. And actually, what we'll do is I'll say like, I go the first person, and I
And
said,
you make an announcement over the loudspeaker.
no, I sent whoever the first person is. I was like, okay, you now need to leave, and I want you to go choose someone else in the plane to send to me to eat with me.
We're absolutely getting tackled. There's no way.
It does seem like it's potentially not allowed, but hey, I bought the seat.
What rule?
It's got to be allowed.
Just annoying.
It's annoying, but
I mean, one
I'll
thing we've
tip everyone
learned-
who's upset.
You'll just give out cash.
I don't know. That seems like a decent solution.
Maybe we have to buy the plane.
You'd be surprised at what $10 can solve. Someone's really upset. Be like, I'm so sorry. Can I give you $10? Like,
I would be, if I were actually pissed
Yes.
off at someone and they offered me $10, I would be furious.
What? I would be like, oh, Thank you.
How pissed off? I guess what level of pissed off?
Someone scratches my car.
Well, that's not enough.
Oh.
That's not because. But if like someone's cut you in line, and
Okay.
and you haven't been
Yeah.
along that long.
Yeah, I would take $10.
Yeah, like it's just Starbucks line. You're 5 deep. He cuts right in front of you, but there's 4 people behind you, and you're like, "I'll just give you $10."
Because you know,
And he actually looks at the rest of people and like, "Hey, I'll give you all $10."
Yeah.
Everyone's chill. Everyone's chill.
have you done this?
No, but seems like it would work.
Do you feel how was that for you, Rainie? Did we answer some questions? Did we illuminate?
Is there anything missing other than the mystery reveal? Obviously,
was it? Do you have a deeper sense of insight?
I think so. I mean, I'm knee deep in here, so I
That's
sort of
true.
know
That's a great point.
a lot of the stuff. I think, but I think it was interesting, and I think it was always good to do inside baseball.
Well, hey, audience, Rainie liked it. So what's
No.
your problem?
come on now. Inside baseball made me remember lemon baseball, and I can't wait till the audience knows what that means.
Oh, get ready.
Oh my god, lemon baseball was so fun.
I dream of lemon baseball.
It was so
Wow.
fun. It was. I haven't felt like a kid like that in a few weeks, I guess.
A very significant celebrity in the
What?
marijuana world.
Seth Rogen. Oh, Snoop Dogg.
One of the
comment?
other significant ones.
Has requested to come on Smoke Show.
Who is it? I'll bleep it.
Yeah, really thrilling.
You stop it right now.
Okay, all right.
Well, hey, man.
Yeah, I don't have any advice for you.
We don't need advice.
Yeah, we can't have it today.
All I'll say is that, I guess this is an opportunity for a continued thank you for, if you've made it this far on the podcast. I have to imagine you're a ride or die, that you're here with us, you rock with us, you support us.
Or you're sleeping.
Or
you might have
fell
fallen asleep.
And then you're dreaming right now.
I have heard a lot of people will fall asleep listening, which is very sweet.
That is sweet.
Except for when we do like the soundboards.
Oh yeah, we won't do that to them.
Yeah. I forgot about the soundboard though. More soundboard in 2024.
Give us one.
I don't even know. It's not even. None of.
You know they
they're
unplugged,
not.
they
They're not
unplugged
loaded
it all
up.
for the.
Yeah.
Live. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not plugged
Yeah.
in. All right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, thank you for your continued support. You are the reason we do what we do. You're also why we get to do what we do.
Reason is you.
Keith, should we do the theme song?
It's the tripod. You're the reason. You are the reason we're living this way, baby. It's a tripod.
Have a good ass week.